today I'm going to be showing you like basically what I get up to on a normal day during a training camp. First things first is breakfast. So we're in the Canaries right now. We're on the island of Tenerife. It's a little bit overcast today, but it is like 20 degrees, so I'm not going to complain at all about the weather. I only booked this trip like two or three days before I decided to come to Tenerife, and basically my rationale, my thinking behind it was just to do like a little bit of a mini sort of training camp pre-Christmas. Just with everything that's got on this year with COVID, with no racing, I think the last time I'd done any kind of structured training or any efforts or ridden my bike at any amount of like speed was probably like May or June time. So I just thought that I would book like a little last minute trip to come here to Tenerife to kind of just like on my own to just get my head down and to just focus for sort of like 10 days straight, train as best as I can, try and get some sort of fitness back, and then hopefully it puts me in a bit of a better position like at the start of January. Sometimes it's good to just come away on your own, to just get your head down and focus, like there's no distractions, it's just me. I can kind of do what I want to do and focus on what I want to focus on. I did originally book to come here for 10 days, but it got announced today that Tenerife is closing its borders for 15 days. So I mean, hopefully I can get home, but if I can't, then I might be spending Christmas in Tenerife. All right, we got a brand new pair of the special edition Pongo CJ socks, guys. This week is the last week you can get your hands on a pair of Pongo socks for Christmas. Like, the final guaranteed Christmas shipping dates are this week, so if you want to grab your pair, grab yourself, grab your husband, grab your son, grab your daughter, a pair of Pongo CJ socks for Christmas. You know what to do. Head over to the Pongo site and grab yourself a pair. They're a perfect stocking filler. They will appreciate that present. Without further ado though, the bike is ready. We've got some bottles, the Wahoo's on the bike. My pockets are full of food. Let's get this show, you can't even see my face, but let's get this show on the road. So Tenerife is an island which is basically made around a huge volcano. So the center of the island is the highest point. There is a road that goes all the way to the top of the volcano. The air at the top is pretty thin. It's like 2,500 meters in the sky. And today we're gonna ride all the way to the top of it. I have been up here once before in 2015. It took about 2 hours to climb in total. That's why I've kind of got some more layers on today. Every other day I've just been riding in shorts and jersey, but even though it's like 20 degrees down here, the forecast at the top of the volcano is like 8 or 9 degrees, so I don't want to get cold. So I'd rather be a little bit too hot at the bottom, but then as we get higher and climb into the mountains, it should get a little bit cooler. We're just doing an endurance ride today. Yesterday I had a 5-hour session with some 20-minute threshold effort, so today is just about getting the Ks in. 44k to LT. That means 44 kilometers until we get to the top of this climb. It's a long climb. 33k to the top. So we're probably about 5, maybe 10k from the top. Just riding up through the trees. Honestly, the road is amazing. It's just so smooth, it's so quiet, there's no cars, no people. But this little corner here is a viewpoint, right? And from here, you can basically see the whole of the south side of the island. But not today. We are currently in the clouds. We are at about 1,850 meters right now, so it's starting to get a little bit colder. It's currently like 15 degrees, which, all right, isn't that cold, but I think by the time we get to the top, it's probably gonna be like 10 degrees. There it is, sports fans. LT'd. We made it to the top, I think. So I expected it to be pretty cold up here, but honestly, this weather couldn't really get any better. And the view, I mean, it's quite hard to see on the GoPro, but mate, that is incredible. We are literally like above the clouds. It's like when you're on a plane and you look out the window and you just see that bed of clouds. Honestly, it's amazing, man. Just in every direction you look, there is volcanic rock. I'll be honest, it does not look very comfy at all. But right now, we're basically like riding along the top for a few kilometers before descending down the other side. It's just one dead straight road. We're still up at over 2,000 meters here, so the oxygen is pretty thin. So we're about 4 hours and 25 minutes in now. I was basically just following the coast road back along, which eventually arrives at Costa Rica, which is where I'm staying. But I turned off that road and we're heading inland for one final climb. It's about 5 or 6k. I'm starting, and as you can probably tell by my voice, I'm starting to get tired now. After yesterday's interval session, I've got a day off tomorrow. So today's like the last big day. Just keep the pedals turning and then we'll get home. La 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 la. Alright, that's the ride done, just got back home. There we have the Wahoo data, 5 hours in total, 121 kilometers, which is like 3,000, let's have a look, over 3,000 meters of climbing, I think. 3,200 meters. Mate, that's crazy. But nonetheless, we completed it, we made it back home. That's another 5-hour ride in the bank. I have the same routine after every training session. I'm gonna grab a recovery shake, get a shower, and then have some dinner, have some food, and then just chill out for a bit. So in this apartment, yeah, there's no like toaster or there's no oven grill. So I'm having to, when I'm making my lunch, yeah, today I'm having beans on toast. Shock, I know. I'm having to microwave my bread. Now, I'm not literally just microwaving it. Apparently is a grill function on the microwave. I mean, it's not that good. It only like slightly toasts the bread, but at least it's some form of toast rather than just literally eating beans on bread. Alright, it's not really toasted, but I mean, it'll do. It will do. I mean, it's got to do. Bon appetit, the lunch of dreams right there. This is when I'll just sit, reply to emails, or do any other admin type things that are on the agenda. Or, like today, I'll just sit and watch YouTube videos. I've just been sat in the apartment chilling out for the last few hours. I thought that I'd come out and stretch the legs this evening. I'm just gonna walk into town, have a bit of a look around, check out what's in the area. I've been here once before in 2015, so I kind of remember it, but not that much. And I also haven't really been out yet. When you're like training every day, you just get into a bit of a bubble of like training and then going back to the apartment, sleeping, eating, repeating, training again. So like I don't actually really have that much time or opportunity to come and explore the town that much. But I have a day off tomorrow, so I can kind of have a lie-in and stuff. So I thought I would come out tonight and just have a look around. Oh, Christmas lights. So at the minute in Tenerife, it's the law to wear face masks when you're out in public. Like the only time you don't need to wear a face mask is when you're in the car, or like when you're doing exercise. So when I'm cycling, I don't have to wear a mask. But when I'm walking down the street like this, I have to protect all these people around me by wearing a mask. And then when I go into a restaurant or a bar, you can take the mask off. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but they're the rules. I'm in their country, so I kind of have to respect those rules. There's also a 10 p.m. curfew every night that you have to be home by, and if you're not, there's like a big fine, so I don't fancy that. Christmas tree, another Christmas tree. So I wasn't going to eat out tonight, but they've just announced like in Tenerife that from tomorrow all the restaurants and pubs and bars have to close. So I thought I'd make the most of the restaurants being open, and to finish off this little training block, we've got this sick looking spaghetti carbonara. I'm so hungry, so I'm going to absolutely smash this right now. And that is pretty much it. That was my day done. My camera died after this point, so we didn't get any more clips, but essentially I just ate my food and went back to my apartment and went to sleep. But that is pretty much a typical day in the life on training camp. As you can probably tell, it's pretty repetitive. It's the same sort of process, just training day in, day out. Obviously, recovery is as important as actually training itself. But this camp in particular was more to focus on like my zone 2, zone 3, so sort of like the longer endurance days, and then also like some sort of low intensity tempo efforts. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. You know, if you enjoyed it or whatever. I'll be down in there replying to you guys. I've also got 1, maybe 2 more videos coming from my Tenerife training camp, so stay tuned for them. If I don't speak to you beforehand, have an amazing Christmas, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in a new video very, very soon.